Sup? Name is Liam Blutman. It's Transfer Portal CFB presented by NoContextCFB. And I like tight ends. Very fun position. It's underappreciated, although, National Tight Ends Day is a thing now. And it's getting a lot more love. Guys like Travis Kelce and George Kittle help that. But I want to focus on something today. It's something that it's a thought that struck my brain when seeing all this tight end first round talk for the 2023 draft. We're talking about like 3 or 4 guys going in the first round, and I don't see it. I just did my fourth mock draft. I had 2 tight ends going in the first round, both end of the first round, and I really think that when we get to the draft, like when it's all said and done, I only think one's going to go in the first round, maybe 2. I think 3 or 4 is ludicrous. I kind of just want to dive into this tight end conundrum and explain why it's just not correct for that many tight ends to go in the first round for a number of reasons. You have to factor in the rest of the draft class and kind of weigh, we're going to take this tight end here. What could he end up being at his best? Or like what could he end up being basically against what someone else at another position could end up being? Like if I were to give you, okay, this tight end's going to be an all-pro, but the receiver that goes the pick after you is also going to be an all-pro. Would you rather have the tight end or the receiver? Most people are going to say the receiver. Same thing with cornerback. Most people are going to say cornerback. And then the fact that aside from just kind of analyzing the other players that go around you when you take tight end early is doing the same thing on like day 2, late day 2 or day 3, but also recognizing how lackluster the rest of the talent ends up being and how the hit rate, right, on these players that go later are so much lower. But for tight end, it's fine. Like at tight end, some of the names I'm going to share today are going back to 2013 draft. I think I'm going to go through each draft and kind of share some stuff about those classes. But the hit rate for tight ends is fine. Like it's almost pretty much usually the late day 2 or day 3 tight ends are the ones that blossom and hit at a higher rate, like George Kittle, like Travis Kelce, because tight end is a position that is the success is so it just derives from so many traits and the production in college isn't a big deal, and it's just traits and growing into nasty tight end, like crazy, build and the ability to block and just growing over and over again. Growing as the years go by, rather. That's a better way to put it. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it to take tight end early. And we'll start with the 2013 draft. And yeah, just kind of while I'm going through this, I don't know if there's going to be graphics on screen or not, but kind of just go through this and think like, what would I rather have had? I don't know. It starts in 2013 with 21st overall pick in the first round being Tyler Eifert to the Bengals. Had a pretty solid career. Injuries at the end hurt, but he had a good career. Some other notable picks: 22nd overall is Desmond Trufant, 25th overall Xavier Rhodes, 27th overall is DeAndre Hopkins, 31st overall Mike Mayock got pretty mad. He had a 3rd round grade on Travis Frederick. So you tell me, would you have rather had Trufant, Rhodes, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Frederick, or Tyler Eifert? I think if the Bengals go back and make that pick, they're taking any of those guys. And yes, I should have said this before, but landing spot's such a big deal, and development from a coaching staff and everything is such a big deal. So I get that it's skewed in a sense, but come on, still. Round 2, pick 35 in that draft. So 35th overall pick, Zach Ertz to the Eagles. Heck of a career. Getting older now with the Cardinals. It's all good. 36th overall pick was actually Darius Slay. 41st overall pick, Robert Woods. And yes, there's also a bunch of guys that didn't pan out around here and stuff. But I mean, I'll get to some of those in more recent years, but I don't want to water it down. Just name a million names. Round two, pick 47's Gavin Escobar to the Cowboys. Le'Veon Bell went 48th, and Jamie Collins went 52nd. In this same draft, we get to the third round, and this is where Travis Kelce goes 63rd overall to the Chiefs. Tyrann Mathieu goes 69th. Teron Armstead goes 75th, and Keenan Allen goes 76th. Pretty dang good hit rate in that realm of picks, huh? Jordan Reed goes 85th, another terrific career, I would say. He goes to Washington. Deron Harmon at 91 was really the only notable player picked around him. So that's the 2013 draft. And, there's other names in there like Deion Sims at 106, Levine Toilolo, good blocker at 158. Luke Wilson was 158. Sorry, Toilolo was 133. Vance McDonald at 55. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you tell me, I don't know. Vance McDonald or like Jamie Collins and Jordan Reed. Like, I'm just saying, 2014. This is the top two worst one. There's a really bad one later. Pick 10 is Eric Ebron to the Lions, 10th overall. Taylor Lewan went 11th. Odell Beckham Jr. went 12th. Aaron Donald went 13th. Kyle Fuller went 14th. Ryan Shazier went 15th. 16th was Zach Martin. 17th was CJ Mosley. Brandon Cooks was 28th. Clinton Dix was 21st. Dee Ford was 23rd. And Jason Verrett, despite all his injuries, is a baller, and he went 25th. Yeah, that's a 15-pick span there from 10 to 25, but Eric Ebron or any of those guys. Like Eric Ebron directly in front of Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Donald. That's brutal. That's brutal. And you'll get to pick 38 overall. So this second round, Austin Severian Jenkins went to the Bucks. Cal Van Noy was 40th. Lamarcus Joyner was 41st. Jordan Matthews was 42nd. All those guys had pretty dang good careers. Safarian Jenkins just did not at all. Jason Morrow went to the Jets at 49th overall. Devontae Adams, 53rd. Allen Robinson, 61st. Jimmy Garoppolo, 62nd. Jarvis Landry, 63rd. Would the Jets rather have had, let's just say, Devontae Adams or Jason Morrow? Allen Robinson or Jason Morrow? Jarvis Landry or Jason Morrow? QB? Yeah, we if you want to go down that road, like we could go there, but let's just stay on those receivers. And yes, again, Devontae Adams becomes a Jet. There's a chance that he ain't ever anything because of opportunity, landing spot, coaching. Like it might never happen. He might not blossom in the Jets. Like what an awful spot. But the point being, Jason Morrow goes in front of those players. And that's where you're having to draft a tight end. And you're taking him over players of that caliber. That's brutal. And they're like that class had like nothing else, dude. It really didn't. Like Richard Rodgers went 98th overall, CJ Fedorowicz at 65, Crockett Gilmore at 99, Ted Bolser at 217. Like there was not much else in this tight end class. But Jason Morrow, head of Devontae Adams. And then you have to talk about need, right? Like, oh, I have a tight end need. Oh, I don't need a receiver because we have a really good WR1 right now. You're telling me you would pass up on the, I don't know, man. It's not to go too off track here, but this corner class in 2023 is ridiculous. It's oozing with an absurd amount of talent. If I have a CB1, let's stay with Jets. I have Sauce Gardner. What Joey Porter Jr. is there at 13? How do we not think about adding him and now having Sauce and Joey Porter Jr.? Corner might not be a true need right now, but it could be next year. Injuries happen and stuff. I don't know. Devontae Adams or Jason Morrow, again, wild. 2015, 55th overall pick. This class had so many. It looks like 19 tight ends. 55th overall, the second rounder. Max Williams goes to Ravens. Rob Havenstein was at 57, Marcus Golden 58, Randy Gregory 60, Frank Clark at 63. The 68th overall pick is now a third rounder. Raiders take Clive Walford. Tyler Lockett 69th overall, nice. Tevin Coleman 73rd. Again, 19 tight ends in this class. The hit rate was so low. It was so low. You have like Busta Anderson at 254, Jeff Swaim at 246, solid career. James O'Shaughnessy 173, Nick Boyle 171, Jesse James 160, like Jeff Hireman 92nd, Tyler Croft 85th. It's round 5, pick 157, CJ Uzama. Yeah, he had a few injuries and all, but everyone does. Uzama's put together a very good career. Drafted around him is Shaquille Riddick at 158, J.J. Nelson at 159. Yeah, Jesse James at 160. What? The Raiders took Clive Walford ahead of Tyler Lockett by one spot. Like, the choice here, essentially, we could think of is like Clive Walford and J.J. Nelson or Tyler Lockett and C.J. Uzama. Like, on to 2016, because why not? That 19 tight end class was horrific, and we dropped to 11 tight ends in 2016, which is highlighted by the first tight end off the board was 35th overall pick, Hunter Henry to the Chargers. Really good career, still kicking in New England. Good for him. Miles Jack went 36th. Chris Jones went 37th. Xavier Howard 38th. Derrick Henry 45th. Stretch it to Michael Thomas at 47. That's tough. Austin Hooper, 81st overall pick. We're now in the third round. LaRaven Clark went 82nd overall. Kendall Fuller, 84th. Braxton Miller, 85th. Leonte Carew, 86th. I could have had, let's just say, Xavier Howard and Austin Hooper. I know obviously the picks are different or anything, but I'm just saying hypothetically, like this is the talent pool that you're choosing from, and when you're choosing to prioritize tight end, and like again, Hunter Henry had a really good career. He had a really good career. Xavier Howard, though, Michael Thomas in his prime, Slant Boy himself, Derrick Henry. Round 4, pick 110, Tyler Higbee to the Rams. Miles Killebrew at 111, Devondre Campbell at 115, Tyler Irvin, the speedster of San Jose State, at 119, Demarcus Robinson at 126. Again, think of the players being picked, man. Think of this. We'll get to 2017 now. There are 14 tight ends selected, and we had 3 in the first round. We had 3 tight ends in the first round of 2017. Round 1, pick 19, O.J. Howard went to the Bucks. Garrett Bowles went 20th, Sherrod Davis 21st. Charles Harris 22nd. So pretty mid to say the least. Round 1, pick 23, Evan Ingram. Things weren't the best for him as a Giant, but he's balling with the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. You gotta love that. Garyon Conley was 24th. Jabril Peppers was 25. Takk McKinley 26. Tre'Davious White was 27. Tre'Davious White. And then you get to pick 29, first rounder, David Njoku to the Browns. TJ Watt was 30th overall, Ryan Ramczyk, 32nd, Budda Baker, 36th. And that's where, even when things were looking all right, because, O.J. Howard and Evan Ingram, like the guys drafted directly after him, like, it wasn't much until we got to 27 and it was Tre'Davious White. And then the snowball, TJ Watt, Budda Baker, Ryan Ramczyk was really good. Like, you would rather have those other guys than those tight ends. It's not even a debate. And then you get to round 2, pick 44 was Gerald Everett to the Rams. The next pick directly after, 45th overall, was Adam Shaheen to the Bears. Quincy Wilson, 46. Joe Mixon, 48. Juju Smith-Schuster, 62. Moving on to the third round, you have pick 100 overall. It's Jonnu Smith to the Titans. Brendan Langley at 101. Trey Hendrickson at 103. James Conner at 105. Pick 145 is Jake Butt. The direct pick after him, y'all might know. Broncos took Jake Butt. 49ers strike gold and George Kittle in round 5, pick 146. The best tight end that we've named in this class by far. He was arguably the best tight end in the game, he and Travis. Guy selected after George Kittle, Jordan Morgan at 147, Blair Brown at 148, DeMonte Casey at 149. So you tell me, with that, you could add George Kittle in the 5th round. You could have taken I don't know, man. You could have taken TJ Watt in the 1st round, got George Kittle in the 5th instead of hypothetically like David Njoku and DeMonte Casey, right? Like that's the talent pool. That's the clear difference here. And this is the hit rate for tight ends in the later round. The traits, Kittle didn't have the massive production, but he had every trait imaginable. He had a really good combine, really good athletic score, and he went out and balled out. When he got to San Francisco, that's all it takes. Round 5, pick 150 was Jordan Leggett to the Jets. Not good, not good. Desmond King was 151, Corn Elder 152, and Jake Elliott 153. Kind of showing this one for transparency, as I am with 154, where Jeremy Sprinkle goes to Washington, and Jayon Brown, pretty good linebacker, goes 155. So yeah, a little transparency there, but I kind of wanted to highlight, aside from like the Roberto Aguayo fiasco or Sebastian Janikowski, like 146, George Kittle, 153, Jake Elliott. Like we're getting to kicker range when a George Kittle is a found. I'm just trying to get y'all to see this vision, man. I'm really trying. 2018 is a disaster. Because Baltimore did what they did. They get all the love in the world for drafting Lamar Jackson, but let's not forget 25th overall, they took a 25-year-old rookie tight end, Hayden Hurst. That was ahead of Calvin Ridley by a spot at 26, Terrell Edmonds at 28, and yes, Lamar at 32 that they had to go trade up capital and get. Pick 42, 2nd rounder is Mike Gesicki to the Dolphins. Kerryon Johnson's 43rd, Dante Pettis is 44th. Christian Kirk is 47th, Uchenna Nwosu is 48th. Whatever there. Dallas Goedert goes to the Eagles at 48th overall. Connor Williams at 50th. Anthony Miller at 51st. Jesse Bates at 54. This is where 2018 gets fun because Mark Andrews, also drafted by Baltimore, a 6th overall, was the better prospect, in my opinion, coming out than Hayden Hurst was. Baltimore gets both for whatever reason. Mark Andrews is being drafted in the same realm as Arden Key at 87th, Oren Burks at 88th, Joseph Noteboom at 89th, Deidre Sinat of South Florida at 90th, Traquan Smith at 91st, and yeah, Alex Kappa, pretty good offensive lineman at 94. And that's again where things just I'm giving you the transparency. Like, yeah, Mike Gesicki was drafted right before Kerryon Johnson, Dante Pettis, but it's like Christian Kirk. I could add Christian Kirk and Mark Andrews as opposed to Gesicki and Arden Key. Round 4, pick 137 is Dalton Schultz to the Cowboys. He's just a good tight end. He's a gamer. Cole Madison 138, RJ McIntosh 139, Shaquem Griffin 141, DJ Reed 142. Just saying. And what else was there? You had like Tyler Conklin 157, Jalen Samuels, running back, fullback, tight end, fun stuff. I guess we're gonna see who drafted as tight end though. I don't know, man. It's Will Disley at 120, solid. Jordan Akins 98th. I don't know. 2019, 16 tight ends drafted. And this is TJ Hawkinson going 8th overall to Detroit. And this one, it's fine. They did have to trade Hawkinson to division rival though, man. So that's brutal. But Ed Oliver's at 9, Devin Bush is at 10, Rashawn Gary's at 12, and Christian Wilkins is at 13. I think if Detroit had to redo that pick, I mean, like with the players in that realm of those 5 players in that pool, I think Lions would honestly still pick Hawkinson if they weren't to take Rashawn Gary. Noah Fant went 20th overall. Yeah, a teammate. He went to the Broncos, and I think Noah Fant was a good prospect. He's a really good player. But look at the opportunity, look at the offense surrounding him and everything. Things didn't work out. Gets traded to Seattle in the Russell Wilson deal, and he's just underutilized. And you spent the 20th overall pick on him. Darnell Savage, 21st, Andre Dillard, 22nd, Titus Howard, 23rd, Josh Jacobs, 24th, Hollywood Brown, 25th, and Montez Sweat, 26th. Think about that. Round 2, pick 50, Irv Smith, Vikings. 51st overall, A.J. Brown. Imagine the world where they had Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown. Just something to think about. Although, if they take A.J. Brown, maybe they don't take Justin Jefferson. And that's pretty lame because how often do we think out here like, imagine if like Justin Jefferson and Jamar runs, I don't know, maybe those bad ones. DK Metcalf and Jefferson, I don't know, man. Like, just spitballing. Having two elite wide receivers is fun. Take tight end instead. Nerve doesn't pan out. Round 2, pick 52, directly after AJ Brown's Drew Sample to the Bengals. Miles Sanders went 53rd, but they had Nixon, so whatever. Lonnie Johnson's 54th. McCole Hardman's 56th. JJ Arcega Whiteside's 57. DK Metcalf at 64. Like, again, they could take Metcalf. They're probably not going to end up taking Jamar. They probably would have taken Penei Sewell, but it's like looking back on it, since he still got to the Super Bowl, they've been a super good team. Imagine if they just had DK and Jamar. Maybe then they don't have Higgins. Maybe Tyler Boyd's coming. Just thinking, round 3, pick 96 is Dawson Knox to the Bills. Bobby Evans at 97. Quincy Williams at 98. Mike Edwards, 99. Will Greer at 100. XFL legend Hakeem Butler at 103. The thing here, I got DK Metcalf and Dawson Knox, or I got Drew Sample and Hakeem Butler. 2020, it's Cole Kmet that goes 43rd overall to the Bears. He was thought of as a potential first-round pick. Grant Delpit went 44th. Antoine Winfield Jr. went 45th. Trayvon Diggs went 51st. And then you have round 4, pick 118. Again, a Denver guy being misused, underutilized completely is Albert Abukawanam. Michael Pirine went 120. Logan Stenberg went 121. Skinny Jacob Eason 122. Charlie Heck 126. And that's Gabe Davis at 128. Can we just move on to 2021? Because this is the other one that I was foreshadowing a bit, kind of hinting at. I called the Eric Ebron one like one of the worst two. Kyle Pitts at 4 ends up either being worse or second, or like it's top 2 as well, and it's opinionated. But here's the issue. You took a tight end 4th overall, and yeah, he's like receiver-like and everything. He's a freak. He's a freak of nature. But the misutilization, the underutilization, having him block so much takes away from his best skill set, which is just being a freak of nature and incredible receiving talent. So you took him 4th overall. Jamar Chase went 5th. If you went back and why wouldn't you just rather have the receiver? Why wouldn't you rather have Jamar? That's easy. Jalen Waddle went 6th. Penei Sewell went 7th. J.C. Horn 8th. Patrick Surtain II went 9th. Devontae Smith went 10th. Justin Fields went 11th. The quarterback. Micah Parsons went 12th. Rashawn Slater went 13th. That's terrible. Kyle Pitts is a tremendous talent, but in no way, shape, or form should he be going 4th overall. And that's the direct response to Pitt's pick, is that 5 to 13 is a bunch of absolutely great talents too. You would rather have the tight end over those guys? There's no way. There is no way. Maybe I should have let off with this one, but there is no way you'd rather have Kyle Pitts than any of those players right now, because Pitts just doesn't affect the game as much as the other one do. I'd rather have a shutdown CB and Patrick Surtain. I'd rather have a game-changing receiver and Waddle, Chase, or Devontae. Micah Parsons at 12. It's brutal. Pick 55, Pat Fryermuth to the Steelers, Dwayne Eskridge at 56, Tutu Atwell at 57, Nick Bolton 58, Creed Humphrey 63. Obviously, myself, I'd rather have Creed Humphrey. I thought he was first round talent. But this one, even though it's a second rounder, is kind of the show. I could have had any of those players. And then, yeah, I could have had Pat Fryermuth. I could have had like Mike Parsons and Pat Fryermuth. I could have had Jamar Chase and Pat Fryermuth. Instead, I get, again, this isn't who Atlanta takes, but it's like, oh, I end up with Kyle Pitts and Tutu Atwell. Sick. Oh, that's fun. 2022. So this one, it's too early, I think, to really evaluate everything. We have to wait for sophomore leaves and all that, and I think it's just too early to completely dive in. So I just want to look straight up at tight ends. Trey McBride, I thought was the best tight end in the class. Doesn't end up looking that way. He went 55th overall to the Cardinals. This was a really good tight end class, and this ties into my 2023 beliefs. Picked 73's Jelani Woods to the Colts. He's such an RAS demon. Pick 80 is Greg Dulcich to the Broncos. Really good player. 106, Cade On to the Bucks. He's going to be a stud. 139 is Isaiah Likely to the Ravens. Big fan of him for a long time. 143 in that fourth round is Chigakonkwo to the Titans. He's going to blow up. It's so obvious what I would rather have. I would rather be taking the tight end later, bang on the trades, banking that they pan out and I get a good value pick and I hit, instead of taking Trey McBride that early. It's just the way of the road. 2023 will look ahead. The potential guys to go round one top 50, I'll stretch it to top 50, are Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid, Darnell Washington, and Luke Musgrave. I think Darnell is going to end up going around one. I think Mayer is. Those are two I have in my previous mock. I get Kincaid. I mean, it'd just be such a mistake if they're going the first round. It just would be, because then we'd be sitting here in 2-3 years looking back and it's like, this class is disgusting. There's so many good corners, there's solid receivers, there's really the edge rushing class is crazy. The offense line, and most be looking back and it's like, oh, you took Michael Mayer there. Like, yeah, he's good, but I could have had Zach Kuntz. I could have had Zach Kuntz in the third round, and he panned out great, and the value's amazing. And we got like Darius Rush in the early second or late first or wherever Rush goes. I'm projecting him to be a riser, or maybe we'll stick at cornerback and say like maybe his teammate Cam Smith ends up slipping to the late first, or maybe it's another cornerback, Deontay Banks, Julius Brents. Like it's so easy. The other guys in this class, this tight end class is so deep, and this is where the conundrum lies. Would you rather have those four guys early, or you're getting like Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta, Will Mallory, Zach Kuntz, Marshawn Ford, Luke Schoonmaker, Payne Durham, Davis Allen, Renton Strange, Noah Gindorf, who might be moved to an offensive tackle, but for now, Noah Gindorf, excellent blocker, and there's even more tight ends to share, but I'll just go with those guys and say like I'd rather have them in round 3 or later. It's not up for debate, and this is where the conundrum lies, man. Just think about the talent in this 2023 class and what players you are passing up on in order to draft a tight end in the round 1 or top 50 and invest that capital into. I think there's a serious tight end conundrum. I don't think the value lines up with these guys going in the first round. Maybe one, sure, and I still really won't agree with it. The value of a tight end isn't like a popular discussion. It's really just running back that is, but defensive tackle and tight end are not. Like center gets brought up too as a problem. And I'd rather have a center. I'd rather have an all pro center potentially, like Tyler Leonard, but I don't know. Creed Humphrey went way later than he should. He should have been a first round pick, but the positional value helped just crush him. Yeah, I don't know. We're really just looking into this, man, and I gotta wrap the video up soon, but just think about it. Just think about the capital you're having to invest into one of these times when you say, oh, I want my Bengals to draft a tight end in the first round this year. I want my Packers to draft a tight end at 15, or maybe even trade up into the top 10. Ludicrous. That's ludicrous. You're crazy. Just think about this. Think about the guys that are going to go around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and pan out and hit. And not to mention UDFAs. Let's not act like UDFA tight ends don't pan out and have good careers too. That's all I've got to say. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Tweet me what tight ends you think are going to blow up in this pre-draft process. Who you think is going to ball out? Zach Kuntz had a heck of a combine. Thrilled for him. I had a day 2 grade on him back in September. So thrilled to see that. Sam LaFleur is going to be a stud. Tucker Kraft's going to be a really good player too. Marshawn Ford's extremely slept on as well. I talked to a player in this class who played in the ACC, and he told me Marshawn Ford's the best tight end that he's ever played. Marshawn Ford is not being talked about at all. Marshawn Ford is going to be like a 4th or 5th round pick. And think about the name Marshawn Ford in a few years. If he pans out and hits and does well, and just know that you took Dalton Kincaid in the top 15 or Michael Mayer in the top 20, 25. It don't add up. I'm no mathematician, but the math don't be math, and that's all I've got to say. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, just tweet me anything you want to ask. And thank you. See ya. Have a good day.